Now I'm unmuted. What is going on, everyone? This is Thomas Miner. I'm an agent with Remax Precision, and this is the second episode of a live streaming show that I'm trying to do weekly to you guys to talk to you about the Des Moines real estate market, local Des Moines news that I find interesting that somewhat relates to real estate. And I'm also just here to talk to you guys live and hopefully have some live conversations and have people talking with me about real estate, but not just stuff I'm interested in, stuff that people are watching are interested in. So I can see a few people are watching already. Please comment with your questions. I would love to have somewhat of a live discussion or at least talk about stuff that people are watching are interested in. That being said, I am going to talk about the stuff that I find interesting. So let's pull this up. I got some Des Moines Metro stats for you guys, and I want to talk about these and hopefully give you guys some insight into not just the stats, but what could possibly be the story behind the stats. So we've got in the Des Moines Metro a 15.7% increase in inventory year over year. November, we saw a 15.7% increase in inventory, which is awesome. That shows you that more people are looking to list and sell their homes, and more people are looking to make moves. And it should hopefully help out with prices. At the very, very least, it's going to make sure that we are not going to see the crazy appreciation that we saw kind of in 21, 22, a little bit in 23. So I think that is interesting. And as far as homes that went under contract in November in the Des Moines Metro, we have a 6.3 decrease in pending sales. So you saw 15.7% more inventory get listed, and we saw pending contracts go down. And this inventory increase has obviously shifted the what type of market that we were in. For so many years, we were in what we would call like a seller's market, and how real estate agents talk about, is it a seller's market? Is it a neutral market? Is it a buyer's market? Is a statistic called months of inventory. So what months of inventory basically is if we were to take all the inventory we have in our market right now and compare it to, on average, how many homes we're selling a month, how long would it take us for us to completely sell out of our inventory without any new inventory being listed? Generally, you're looking at about 3 months or less is considered a seller's market. 3 to 5 is considered neutral. Anything above 5 is normally considered a seller's market. So what kind of markets are we looking at in the Des Moines area? And if you are ever curious and you want to know about your specific neighborhood or your specific suburb, or if you live in Des Moines, if you wanted to get more granular, I can give you some great stats. Granular, but this is just the Des Moines Metro as a whole. So we're talking about Des Moines, we're talking about the surrounding suburbs. What people are looking at is homes that are listed 500K and below. We're seeing mostly a balanced market. And what's kind of interesting to me with this is if you look at like 200 and below, typically if it's 200 below and it's in great shape, they're selling quickly. And there's really not much of a difference between 200 below, 300, 400. There's not much of a difference months of inventory wise. The highest of all of those is 5.6 months of inventory, which we're kind of considering a neutral market for this. 500 and above is all a buyer's market, especially if you're getting into those way luxury prices. Those prices Thomas and a lot of his friends can't afford. Those are all a buyer's market. So what would I say? I would say that anyone looking to sell a home in that neutral market, not necessarily a seller's market, but you're selling it in a neutral market. And like I talked about last week, if you have your home presented properly and priced properly, you're not looking at the normal median days of being on market like a lot of people are. And you're going to sell it quickly. You're going to sell it for a good price, and you're more than likely going to have an easy transaction if you do all those things before you list, like I talked about last week. And if you're looking to upgrade, you can buy in a buyer's market. So you can sell in a neutral market, and with the right agent, you will feel like you're still in the seller's market, but then you can go buy in a buyer's market. And where people really, really win in real estate, like I talked about last week, people really, really win when they stay in a home for a long time. But they also win if they get a really, really good deal on their house. So if you get a really, really good deal on your house, And you can get a good deal on your house in any market, but it's a lot easier if you're in a buyer's market. So if you get a good deal on your house, you have a chance to build instant equity, stay in it a long time, and keep adding to your appreciation, and you will win. So if you happen to know of anyone that is looking to upgrade into what I would consider those luxury home prices and sell a home that's kind of in that 300, 400 range, they're sitting in a really, really good spot if that's something that fits their needs right now, because they could sell in a neutral market and buy it in a buyer's market. So you can get a good, fair price for your home and have an easy closing, and then get a good deal on your next home that you're purchasing. The thing where this gets tricky is because a lot of those people that are sitting on those homes that are in that position to upgrade probably have a really, really good interest rate on the current home that they're in. So I would only upgrade into that luxury deal if you can bring a really, really hefty down payment to at least make sure your monthly payments aren't crazy out of whack, where it's all of a sudden going to be such a more difficult to make that monthly payment on your mortgage. The median list price for Des Moines Metro is $20,000 lower than last year. $20,000 lower. So if you were looking at homes in Des Moines last year in November compared to now, homes are cheaper, which is really, really good news. The interesting thing here is, though, the median sold price is still higher than it was last year in November. So what does that say to me? I think what is kind of happening is we're about to see that shift. I'm going to be very, very interested to see what these median sold price numbers look like in January, February, and everything like that, because price decreases are becoming more and more common in the Des Moines Metro right now. A lot of people are listing their homes way too high, and we're seeing a lot of price decreases because for years, and I'm one of those real estate agents that's in on this for years right now, we're all just kind of baking in this natural appreciation. And so far this year, we have been seeing the small appreciation, but it is nothing compared to what we were seeing last year. So I hope some of these stats are interesting. I haven't got a ton of comments so far, but I do thank everyone that has popped in and watched. I've seen some people popping in and watching for a little bit. I hope you guys find this interesting. I hope if you are watching this later, if you have any questions, please comment below, and I will answer the questions next week. I am doing this live stream every single week, and I am looking to talk to people about anything that they find interesting in real estate. So please get involved, and I would love to have some conversations with people about the Des Moines area, an area I grew up in, an area I loved, and I want to talk about Des Moines real estate as well. And we can talk about national real estate too if you're interested. I think it is looking pretty good that interest rates are going to start trending down next year, which is going to maybe negate what I was just talking about with home prices going down, but it'll also make things much more affordable for buyers that are looking to make a move. I think spring is where I think we're going to see a lot of buyers come back into the market in spring. I think homes are going to be listed at attractive prices. I think interest rates aren't as volatile as they have been previous years. And it's just that low six is kind of becoming the new normal. And if it makes sense for people to purchase, they're not going to get below 5. So it's just, at that point, it's just buy as soon as you can. Then if there is no advantage to waiting, you just buy as soon as you can and as soon as it makes sense for you personally. So I hope everyone has a great week. I hope everyone stays warm. I took the dog out on a walk and my nose is still frozen. So have a good one, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.